Hey guys, Dave here again with another video, and today's video we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome, and imposter syndrome especially with ADHD. For those that don't know, I'm one of the admins of the ADHD men's support group, and I'm also an ADHD and men's life coach. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I feel like an imposter making a video about imposter syndrome. Because right now I'm feeling like an imposter making a video about imposter syndrome. Not even just this, with this as well. So, in one of my other kind of gigs that I do, I am a butcher. Started talking about their social media and say, oh yeah, I do social media, and then they hired me to do their social media, and I was freaking out all week trying to do their social media, even though well, no one's ever hired me, so I must not be good at it. Even though I've been doing my own social media and had good strategies and really interested in it and want to actually help them grow their business. And I had my fiance say, no, Dave, like, you've been working on your social media. You know how to do it. You can help them. You know, these are 70-year-old butcher guys. You probably know a bit more about Facebook and Instagram and algorithms than they do. So what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is that feeling that you're an imposter, that you don't belong in that group, or that you are there for superfluous reasons, or that you were just handed the job, or it was just like they felt sorry for you so they gave it to you, or put you in this situation because he can do it kind of thing. And that comes, at least for me, comes from a lot. When I was younger, I was the first kid in my school to be diagnosed with ADHD. So I was always put in the special ed kids, or all he's special. So when I went to other things, I was like, oh, I must be less than, right? So for me, imposter syndrome is this internal kind of belief that I am not worthy or worthwhile, that I don't have value, that I don't know what I'm talking about, even if I'm really interested in it. Like, I was a chef for 20 years, and I would still struggle thinking, oh, I'm not that great of a chef, even though I have all the evidence in front of me that shows that I'm actually very good at what I do. Even like in the social media stuff, like, I'm pretty good at it. I'm not Mr. Master, but at the same time, I do have the knowledge because I put forth the energy and the effort and the consistency and the discipline. Um, so that for me is like, so especially with ADHD, we have this feeling that we are less than, so that anytime we hop into a new role, whether we're interested or not, oh, I must not be as good as the neurotypical person. And that's right there the crux of a lot of our issues. We're comparing apples to oranges when we're an orange and they're an apple, right? Like, the only person we should be really comparing ourselves to as ourselves is you versus you, right? Like, did I improve from the day before? Did I learn something from that experience? When we create that mindset shift where I'm not looking at the oh, well, he has 20 million followers and I only got 900 followers, so I must be shit. No, that's, like, but I got, I increased my followers, and, or I have better interaction with them, and I can build a community. Like, did I grow within my own way, right? I put on my blinders, so to speak, and I kind of tune out the noise and focus on what can help me improve. Be selfish with my self-care. Be selfish with kind of recognizing what can I do for me, because that's the only thing I can control. And it's really tough with imposter syndrome, because you feel like as you step into a role or a new position that you're going to be bad at it. And here's the thing, if you're going to something new, you're going to be bad at it. Everyone is. When you try something new, you're not a master right away. Like, it takes that learning experience. Another good lesson that I've learned, especially with imposter syndrome, is be the student. Be the constant student of learning, and use curiosity to your advantage. We're very curious people, very emotional people. We want to get invested in things. So learning how to use that as a resource to overcome our imposter, to recognize that you are good enough, that you are worthy, that you have value. They wouldn't have hired you for the job or put you in that position if they didn't think they could do it. And we may not see our own abilities and our own kind of what we can accomplish, but others can see that in us. So having faith that those others who have chosen for us, like I said, knock out all the noise, but you take in the noise and the people that actually truly care about you, the ones, you be selective on what information you allow into your head, taking in the ones that are going to be genuine genuine and honest kind of responses, and people that are there to help your life, right? This is why having a therapist or a life coach or a mentor or a close group of friends or a support group is such an invaluable thing to break us out of imposter syndrome, to recognizing that we do have value, that we do have worth. One of the other ways that I try to deal with my imposter syndrome is write down all the things that I'm actually like, okay, like I'm the social media thing, because that's the one that's come up for me a lot this week. I wrote out like what I can do, what are the skills that actually make me really good at this. Like, hey, I like putting up videos, I like using Canva, I like looking at research, like I find my positives. What don't I like doing? What can I outsource? Okay, and it's usually fear. For me, imposter syndrome also comes down to a lot of my own fear of my own ability to accomplish the things, or this high level of perfectionism. Learning how not to be perfect and how to be imperfectly perfect. Recognizing that it's okay to make mistakes. I feel as ADHD people, and I think ADHD men in particular, we had to be at the perfect and top of everything. We have to constantly prove to others that we're just as good as, because we've always had to work 10 times harder in school or in work or in any other situation just to be at the same level. So we're always trying to oh, but I can get there. Recognizing that, we have our limitations, and our limitations aren't necessarily faults, they're just limits to help us find where we can best fit in and best use our skills and abilities. So for me, recognizing that when I'm an imposter and when I'm feeling imposter syndrome, that is my ego and my fear reacting out of an unknown situation and trying to hold me in the same spot. But when I push through my fear, through my ego. Remember, your ego is not your amigo. Your ego is there to hold you in the same spot, hold you in fear, hold you where you don't grow. But when we step out of it and step into that, you realize you actually grow. Yeah, you fall down, you hurt yourself a little bit, you make some mistakes, but that's where the true learning happens. To use a video game analogy, when you're playing a video game like Mario and you die and then you go back and you play it again, you're not once you die once, you're I guess I'm never going to be good at this game. No, you go back and you try again, and you go learn, and you learn from your mistake, learn how to hop on that Koopa and jump onto the next thing. I think you get what I'm trying to mean there. But yeah, that's all I got on imposter syndrome. How do you deal with imposter syndrome? Does that come up often in your life? What are ways that you combat imposter syndrome? Love to know more in the comments below. And feel free to give me a friend, follow, all that fun stuff. And I just wish you guys all a great, if not better day.